Hello and welcome to another episode of Pivotal Moments with Liletta. As always, I always am excited, but I'm definitely excited to have today's guest in the conversation. I've got Mishi with us, and just a little bit, I'm going to turn it over to her in a moment to kind of talk about what she's doing. But I have had the pleasure of meeting this amazing woman, and she is the owner of a healthy cafe, The Vibe, the healthy spot in Prince William County, Virginia, and just doing amazing things with an amazing story. And I just have just come to really love her. So I'm super excited to have her on the show today. And without any more babbling from me, welcome Mishi to Pivotal Moments with Lolita.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Miss Lita. You have been an awesome person to come across. And thank you for allowing me to share my story with the community. And just so the community knows that we are also here for them through these amazing, tough times that we get to go through together. So thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Well, as I said, you are just a mover and a shaker. You the spot that you have, the vibe is just amazing. The atmosphere is just so wonderful. And what I love about it is that it's healthy options for all of our favorite drinks and coffees and teas and treats. So it's just super great and really happy to be connected with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So let's talk about pivotal moments. So, starting this show in 2020, all of us were just facing so many moments of challenge. In doing that, I'm just having my guests share different pivotal moments that they've gone through. So, for you, what would you like to share with us today about a pivotal moment that you went through?
Yeah, absolutely. So pivotal moment in my life would definitely have to be May 2017. I remember that day so clearly. It was a moment in my life where I knew I wanted to change the direction of my current situation to a desired situation. And it was like no plan B, it was going to be plan A. I wrote things down. I got like an accountability mentor to help me guide me through so I don't turn back from where I wanted to go to. So it was May 2017, 3 years ago now. I was sad. I was unhappy. I was really in a place where I just was in the unknown. And I just was questioning, my daily life every day. So it was not good in standing with my family as well. Friendship, my circle was like not the circle that I really wanted to surround myself with. So a time definitely would have been 3 years ago. I decided that I was going to go ahead and pivot in a different direction of my life, no matter what, and until dot dot dot.
Wow. And I'm so glad that you're being transparent because, the reality is how many of us have been in that spot, right? Where we are just not happy with where we are, whether it's like you said, our relationships, our health, whatever it is, we're just not happy. And I love that you were like, there was no plan B. It was plan A and that's it. Wow, that's awesome. So, when we talk about these pivotal moments, we always take a moment to talk about, not just so much the shift that we had to do, but what did you really learn from that shift, especially when it comes to learning what was important to you that was unchangeable? What would you say that was?
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely say daily discipline. Even on the days that I didn't want to get up, or the days that I didn't want to do certain thing, or I didn't want to deal with a certain person or the situation that I was going to get myself into. So it was a daily discipline to do it until. And I think that I really live off that motto, like um, having a daily to-do list, having like a mission, and intentionally, doing things daily intentionally, and just providing that discipline by having a vision board in my room in front of my face on the days I didn't want to do something. And I would put that thing in front of me and be like, are you really worth it? Is this really worth it? It's, if, getting myself not to think about the future, but current present moment. What is Mishi doing today? And being present today to go and take care of that. So
Wow.
discipline would be
Wow.
something that I discovered I
Yeah.
had to do no matter what.
I love it. I love it. And then when we talk about shifting a little bit, we talk about adjustments, right? So pivoting, a lot of times that's kind of right in line with what's important to us. And we may have, emotion attached to it. But when we think about adjusting, a lot of times that's not so favorable. That's adapting to, an uncomfortable situation. So, how did you have to make some adjustments along the way?
Absolutely. So I feel like when you have a really good foundation built, that's when the adjustments come. So a pivoting point should be the foundation that you're building. That should be translucent to that, and then you're building the empire, you're building the foundation. But now you're adjusting to what works, what doesn't work. What is the community looking for? What are the people looking for? What are your reviewers saying? And now you're adjusting based upon feedback. And if you're not able to take feedback, then it's hard for people to adjust sometimes. So I become very more open-minded. I always say yes to opportunities and things I sometimes absolutely have no idea what I just said yes to, but it's because I'm adjusting, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm making mistakes, I'm failing, I'm rebuilding. So yeah.
You know what? That's actually something I think people need to maybe make a little note. Maybe we can hashtag that because honestly speaking, that part about feedback is so true. If you can't accept feedback, it's very difficult to make adjustments because they really do I would say probably most feedback, if you're in the right circles, most feedback isn't what we want to hear. You know what I mean? So if you're not able to really adjust, and then and we're not talking about if someone's just mean and cruel, even though that is a form of feedback that we can take a lesson from. But if we are able to, if we're really trying to get better, we are going to take in that feedback and make those adjustments. Great point. Great point.
Great questions. When I was like thinking about the questions, I'm like, wow, these are really deep questions. I haven't really thought about it in such a long time. And so I almost kind of got emotional. I'm like, I don't want to answer these questions because I'm like, wow, like it made me start thinking of like things I kind of like, went through and like.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, I'm just so proud of you for getting through it and sharing, and that's what these conversations are all about, is that sometimes we do get kind of deep and we get emotional. Um, and it is a sacrifice to share some of that vulnerability with other people. But again, it just speaks to just the amazing person that you are because you're willing to do it. You could have declined, you could have even been surface, but you chose to be vulnerable so that you can inspire the next person watching this. So I sincerely appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Well, as we come to the end of these conversations, I promised myself that these pivotal moment shows would just be brief, but they're always so good. I always hate when they have to end.
Yes, yes. Always, everything comes to an end, but
I
it's always
know, I
like,
know, I
I love
know,
it. I love
I
it. Let's
know.
go.
But what, as we do kind of come to the end, what would you like to leave directly with those who are watching this? What message do you want to say directly to them?
Yes, absolutely. So some of my final thoughts and takeaway would be, just to follow your heart and your intuition. People can see that you're maybe motivated, but only you really feel like the desired passion. Um, and if you can't stop thinking about the desired situation, then there's your starting point. There is your pivotal change for you to get started to the next chapter of your life. And if it's not big enough, then you really didn't want it, right? So you really didn't want it. And then that's an answer too. So
Wow.
follow your heart and your intuition. It's never wrong.
I love it. I love it. Well, Nishi, thank you so much again for being in the conversation. I will make sure that your information is tagged because people need to know about all the amazing things that you're doing. I know you even have some expansions coming, so that'll be exciting to see what's going on there.
Yeah.
But definitely just super respect up for you and celebrate all that you're doing. It really is amazing.
You are such an amazing woman. Thank you for even like coming into the shop, trying a shakeout, hanging out with me, learning about me, asking me questions where it got me thinking. And you definitely have really played a really big place in my heart starting this empire. So thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. You're not going to get me emotional.
Hey, you got me emotional. I think it's only fair.
Exactly. Awesome, awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching another episode of Pivotal Moments with Liletta. And as I promised, the new year, we're bringing even more amazing stories and all that good stuff. So as you see, just there's just super people in the world that are sharing their stories, and Mishi is definitely one of them. So thank you for watching today's episode, and as always, continue to support as you always do, which I appreciate so much. Pivotal Moments with Liletta.